We are live, and boy, oh boy, Elon Musk is going ham. He's not playing around right now, and he made a crazy announcement that there's. What do you guys think about Elon Musk working with Putin? What do you guys think about when I say that? Elon Musk apparently is a Russian puppet. Now, we've heard this before from the mainstream media, but he did something that is sparking this outrage. He literally accused someone of betrayal for profit. And this is taken over everywhere. We also got to talk about Trump's new announcement. Trump makes a huge announcement about Mexico. He's getting a lot of things done before he gets into office. So I just want to show you Elon Musk. Elon Musk is not playing around. So Elon Musk makes a post about a retired lieutenant. Vindman has committed treason and he belongs behind bars, right? So Alexander Vindman has accused Elon Musk of divulging state secrets to Vladimir Putin, right? I'm going to show you the video of what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to show you why this is happening. Take a listen.
Clearly, Putin has a type. He likes narcissists and egomaniacs that he knows as a case officer he could easily pander to and manipulate to do his dirty work. We are under attack. Russia has been using different levers, whether that's corruption networks. In this case, it's influencers like Donald Trump, like Elon Musk, to really kind of sow discord. And it's particularly troubling with Elon Musk in this case because Elon Musk has access to state secrets. He has top secret security clearance. It's possible that some of that is seeping through. Putin has been very effective in playing both Trump and Elon, and he's been using the richest.
So, Alex, this is some crazy accusations here, guys. So, Elon Musk, basically from Alexander Vindman, retired lieutenant colonel, Elon Musk and Russian President Vladimir Putin have been in regular contact since 2022. He's making this accusation. A lot of people believe this. Do you believe this? Is the question, that he's been selling state secrets and they're using the same Vladimir Putin stuff, but you got to keep listening to how far he's willing to go here.
Richest man in the world to do his bidding. In some cases, that's encouraging him probably to support Donald Trump. That's not speculation. We see how far in Elon has gone. And then using Twitter as a disinformation platform. So this is not some sort of far off, distant threat. This is going to impact our elections. It's a national security threat.
You talked about Putin's type, including Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Say more, because it also includes Tucker Carlson, who has a...
Oh, my God. Tucker Carlson. You guys got to hear what these people are saying. MSNBC. Somebody said that Elon can sue. Elon can sue for MSNBC, and he could sue Alexander Vindman. Now, by the way, I'm going to keep playing what he said here. But Elon Musk, after Alexander Vindman said this, Elon Musk made a crazy announcement and says, Vindman has committed treason and he belongs behind bars. Look at this. Elon Musk is a savage. He's not playing around with anybody. Like, this guy is like, he's not playing around. Vindman has committed treason. He belongs behind bars. And look at this. Vindman accused of betrayal for profit. Now this is all hitting. This is hitting big time. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman faced accusations in 2023 of profiting from Ukraine's war while undermining U.S. interests. Vindman allegedly pitched a $12 million defense contract through Trident International LLC to act as a middleman for Ukraine and NATO. Critics include Senator Marsha Blackburn called him an opportunist who exploited his impeachment fame against Trump. Vindman denied this claim. He denied these claims, but admittedly seeking contributions from plans, raising questions about his loyalty to the United States of America. So this guy works. Elon Musk he's not playing around. This is pretty crazy. So he's being accused of being a Russian agent, but then this guy, he's just exposing Alexander Vindman for taking $12 million. Let's keep listening to what he had to say here on the next forward.
Putin has a type. He likes
Let's keep listening here.
Fetish with daddy spanking a little girl, something
What?
who has a bizarre type, including Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Say more, because it also includes Tucker Carlson, who has a bizarre fetish with daddy spanking a little girl, something he said in public from a podium this week.
Yeah, you see why MSNBC needs to be bought, because of crazy propaganda like this. This is crazy.
And J.D. Vance, who has a bizarre belief and worldview that women should stay in violent marriages. Talk about why these men just happen, maybe coincidentally, to also parrot Putin's talking points when it comes to the war in Ukraine.
Well, it's not really coincidental. I mean, we're talking about a very practiced KGB case officer. He served through the rank of lieutenant colonel as a case officer. And in that capacity, he was trained to suss out the vulnerabilities, the weaknesses, the ways to engage his target, his agents. And he's using Trump and Elon as his agents. And in this case, he's just using.
So he's making the claim, and this is how this is going to get crazy, because Elon Musk is willing to go as far as suing. He's willing to go as far as, he's not playing around. He called him a criminal after he said all of this. But he's basically saying that Elon and Trump are Putin agents and they're selling state secrets. I mean, he's saying some crazy things right now.
Their own egos, their own vanities. The fact that, by engaging with Putin, they're feeding their egos to manipulate them and message them. These guys are not particularly skilled. They're not practitioners in national security and statecraft. So his warnings that somehow this is going to trigger a nuclear war are the same things that you hear both Trump and Elon and Tucker.
There you go. He said it. He said it. So let me ask you guys this question. I think the rest of America voted for Trump because of this. Do you think that, because he's defending Ukraine, he wants to keep funding the war in Ukraine, and he's obviously a Ukraine puppet. He receives money from them. Obviously he's been accused of that. He denied it though. But he obviously thinks that it's not going to happen. Let me ask you this. Can Ukraine beat Russia? That's the question. Because this is one of those people that wants to keep the war going because they believe that Ukraine can actually win against Russia. Trump, on the other hand, wants people to stop dying on both sides. He wants to find peace. And he legitimately is one of those believers that Ukraine must keep fighting because they're winning, because they can win. And it's not going to cause a nuclear war, even after everything Putin said. So is it propaganda for us to believe that if we keep going and keep funding this war and they keep fighting, that it's going to get nuclear and we keep funding this war?
Carlson parrot. So he's just effectively manipulating them and using them as useful idiots.
David Jelly, to the political layer of this, there's strength, which you see in General John Kelly's courage of stepping out of a nonpartisan role to sound the alarm for the American military, saying that what Trump wants to do to them by pursuing the enemy within with the military is a dangerous fascist thing to do. And then there's artificial faux strength, which is what you see in men like Musk and Trump and Vance and Tucker Carlson. How did we get to the Republican Party being taken over by the fabricated strength of those men?
Wow, this is crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, Elon Musk saying that, I think this guy's scared. I think he's scared because look, Elon Musk hangs out with Trump every day. And he's now saying, hey, you want to come after me? Cool. Well, you committed treason and you belong behind bars. Now, next thing you know, when Trump becomes president, there's going to be a whole full-blown investigation against this guy. It's about to get crazy. Literally. I mean, they're all so scared. There was a CNN report earlier. Look at this. Anybody know this guy? Anybody a fan of this guy right here? So this guy, watch what he says here.
Federal employees have something new to worry about here in Washington. Elon Musk, who was selected by Donald Trump to find areas to cut in the government, is going after individual workers in a very public way, shaming them before his legions of followers on X. Last week, Musk singled out federal workers on his social media platform. that's become a tool of the MAGA movement. CNN media correspondent Hadas Gold joins me now. Hadas, I mean, this obviously has the potential to get very disturbing very quickly. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is bipartisan.
So federal employees are terrified because they're becoming Musk targets. Why is this is it seems like MSNBC and CNN are running cover. They're literally running cover for federal agents like the IRS. They're running cover for everything DOGE wants to go after. DOGE wants to clean up. They want to clean up. They want government efficiency, and they want to call out the people that have been robbing taxpayers dry. But apparently CNN thinks this is they're defending federal. This is crazy.
Support even amongst some federal workers to try and streamline and make the government more efficient. And federal employees are aware that there's likely going to be a lot of job cuts. But this is something that's really scaring them. And that is that Elon Musk reposted several posts from other users that revealed the private names of 4 women who are working in climate-related jobs in the government. Now, one of the posts says, "I don't think the U.S. taxpayer should pay for the employment of a director of climate diversification." Musk then reposted that post and said, "So many fake jobs." Now, the information that was posted is...
So Elon Musk says that the climate jobs in our federal government, these jobs are fake. So many fake jobs. We got to get rid of these jobs. And now CNN is mad that Elon Musk is saying, yo, we got a lot of fake jobs in our government that taxpayers are paying for. And now CNN is basically saying, hey, these people are scared for their life. What is there to be scared about? You know that when Trump comes in, most of this stuff is probably going to go away because it's needless. Oh my God, this is crazy.
From a publicly available database on government employees, and it does not reveal phone numbers or addresses or anything like that. But these people who were revealed,
oh my God, that's the most important part. Thank you, CNN, for confirming that he didn't expose them directly. Look what they said right here.
The information that was posted is from a publicly available database.
Oh, so what are you reporting here? The information that he released is already public. So what did he actually do?
On government employees, and it does not reveal phone numbers or addresses.
It does not reveal phone numbers or addresses
Or anything like that. But
okay, so what's the point of you panicking about him saying that these jobs need to be cut and naming things that are already public? You see how these people are crazy.
These people who were revealed, these are otherwise sort of relatively unknown government employees. None of them have public-facing jobs as spokespeople or anything like that. So by the richest man in the world, close confidant of the president-elect, essentially putting their names on blast, for many federal employees, this really scares them that Elon Musk's legions of fans will now be going after them personally.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now, CNN? As if there wasn't crazy reports earlier about the Trump campaign or Trump elected nominees. There was bombs. Let me see if I can find this. There were bomb threats. Are you kidding me right now, CNN? Like, have you spoken about the bomb threats? Like, there was a crazy report earlier about a whole bunch of Trump cabinet folks. This is it right here. Watch this. This is what we should really be worried about.
Breaking news, the Trump Vance transition team saying that some members or potential members of the incoming administration are facing serious threats. The team issuing this statement, quote, "Last night and this morning, several of President Trump's cabinet nominees and administration appointees were targeted in violent, un-American threats to their lives and those who live with them. These attacks range from bomb threats to swatting."
Okay, that's something that you guys should be reporting about. But you guys, instead of reporting about how Elon Musk is basically saying that some of these jobs are needless, and he basically named some people that information is already public. This is what you get on CNN.
because he has done this before to other people who he feels are standing in his way. And those people have had death threats. They've had to leave their homes. They've been fearful for their lives as a result of being targeted by Elon Musk. Now, the union that represents federal workers has put out a statement, and they say that these tactics are aimed at sowing terror and fear at federal employees. They say it's intended to make them fearful that they will become afraid to speak up. And Jim, something really interesting.
What? This is propaganda, excuse me, at its finest when it comes to CNN. And what is this protection of federal employees? Like a protection of, they're trying to go so hard to protect people. I don't know. It's pretty crazy what's going on here. All right. I have another huge post here from Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. So a crazy reveal that happened, right? So Elizabeth Warren agency. So this is something else that's getting exposed on the Joe Rogan podcast. This is another reason why they're so mad at the Joe Rogan podcast and his guests, because shit is getting real now, because we know that there's a lot of federal cuts coming to jobs that are not necessary and that are taxpayer funded, like the climate jobs that Elon Musk said that they're very unnecessary, but they will beg to differ. Watch this. This is one of the craziest things that has come out. Mark Anderson exposes Elizabeth Warren's agency, CFPB. Take a listen to this.
So, like, for example, we have this thing called the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, CFPB, which was it's sort of Elizabeth Warren's personal agency that she gets to control. And it's an independent agency that just gets to run and do whatever it wants, right? And if you read the Constitution, like, there is no such thing as an independent agency, and yet there it is.
What does her agency do?
Whatever she wants.
What does it do, though?
Basically, it terrorize financial institutions, prevent.
Yeah, so before we go in, I want to go CFPB. Let me PB, which is this. There it is right here. So Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This is an un-American, according to Mark Anderson, an un-American government program. Let's keep listening here, because once again, Vivek Ramaswamy said this is how the deep state works. They can't censor you. When they can't censor your speech or freeze your financial transactions directly, they pressure private companies that they regulate to do it through the back door instead. This is called fascism. The only right answer is shut it all down. They want to shut all these bureaus down. That's what the government efficiency program is supposed to do. That's what DOGE is supposed to do. Let's go back here real quick, just so I can give you guys some context on this, because I found this video to be insane, crazy, wild. Take a listen.
So, like, for example, we have this thing called the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, CFPB, which was it's sort of Elizabeth Warren's personal agency that she gets to control. And it's an independent agency that just gets to run and do whatever it wants, right? And if you read the Constitution, like, there is no such thing as an independent agency, and yet there it is.
What does her agency do?
Whatever she wants.
What does it do, though?
Basically, it terrorize financial institutions, prevent fintech, prevent new competition, new startups that want to compete with the big banks.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
How so?
Just by terrorizing anybody who tries to do anything new in financial services. And
Can you give me an example?
Well, I guess debanking. This is where a lot of the debanking comes from, is these agencies. So debanking is when you as either a person or your company are literally kicked out of the banking system.
Like they did to Kanye.
Exactly, like they did to Kanye. My partner Ben's father has been debanked.
Really?
We had an employee who
for what?
For having the wrong politics, for saying unacceptable things.
Now, these are just accusations, YouTube, because we know how YouTube gets. This is it. This is what Mark Anderson is saying. This is what he's saying. But when you go look it up, this is a real Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Debt collection, credit reports and scores. This is an accusation that he's making, not me. But it's very interesting. Might be true, might not be true, but I find it very interesting.
Current banking regulations here's a great thing. Under current banking regulations, after all the reforms of the last 20 years, there's now a category called a politically exposed person. PEP. And if you are a PEP, you are required by financial regulators to kick them off of your to kick them out of your bank. You're not allowed
But
to
what
have
if you're politically on the left?
well, that's fine.
No,
because they're not politically exposed.
So no one on the left gets debanked?
Now, I have not heard of a single instance of anybody on the left getting debanked.
Could you tell me what the person that you know did, what they said that got them debanked?
Oh, well, I mean, David Horowitz is a right wing, he's pro-Trump. I mean, he said all kinds of things. He's been very anti-Islamic terrorism. He's been very worried about migration, all these things.
And they debanked him for that.
Yeah, they debanked you. So you get kicked out of your bank account. You get kicked out of you can't do credit card transactions. But by the way, you can't
How is that legal?
Well, exactly. So this is the thing. And then you go into this thing of like, well, this is where the government and the companies get intertwined. Back to your fascism point, which is there's a constitutional amendment that says the government can't restrict your speech, but there's no constitutional amendment that says the government can't debank you, right? And so if they can't do the one thing, they do the other thing, and then they don't have to debank you. They just have to put pressure on the private company banks to do it, and then the private company banks do it because they're expected to, but the government gets to say we didn't do it.
Yeah, very interesting. This is posted by, of course, someone who's going to be running the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Once again, he made a post basically saying that this is how the deep state works when they can't censor your speech or freeze your financial transactions directly. They pressure private companies that they regulate to do it through the back door instead. This is called fascism, according to Vivek Ramaswamy. And he says that the only right answer is to shut all of this down. Once again, this is something that they're going to be going after. A lot of things are about to be exposed. A lot. That's what Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk are about to do. They're about to expose a whole bunch of these government programs, these Veros, these things that taxpayers pay for, literally. And is it true? Well, we're going to find out once they get it. All right, here we go. There's more.
JP Morgan can decide who they. It was the private company that did it, and of course, JP Morgan can decide who they want to have as customers. Of course, right? Because they're a private company, and so it's this sleight of hand that happens. So it's basically a privatized sanctions regime that lets bureaucrats do to American citizens the same thing that we do to Iran.
Whoa!
Just kick you out of the financial system, and so this has been happening to all the crypto entrepreneurs in the last 4 years. This has been happening to a lot of the fintech entrepreneurs. Anybody trying to start any kind of new banking service, because they're trying to protect the big banks. And then this has been happening, by the way, also
try to protect the big banks. Oh God, it's so interesting. I love stuff like this. Somebody said full transparency. It's a lot. I get it. A lot of people probably lose interest in stuff like this, but I love this because big pharma, big banks, name anything big, and stuff like this definitely exists. Big tech, big pharma, big banks, big anything. There's always something protecting them and pressuring others not to start the same thing they're starting. Somebody said the fight is literally just beginning. I agree. But this is why should you be interested in this? Well, it's your taxpayer dollars that go to the IRS and that get put into all these programs. Big Mike.
Also in legal fields of economic activity that they don't like. And so a lot of this started about 15 years ago with this thing called Operation Choke Point, where they decided to, as marijuana started to become legal, as prostitution started to become legal, and then guns, which there's always a fight about. Under the Obama administration, they started to debank legal marijuana businesses, escort businesses, and then gun shops, just like your gun manufacturers, and just like you're done, you're out of the banking system. And so if you're running a medical marijuana dispensary in 2012, like you, guess what? You're doing your business all in cash because you literally can't get a bank account. You can't get a Visa terminal. You can't process transactions. You can't do payroll. You can't do direct deposit. You can't get insurance. Like none of that stuff is, you've been sanctioned, right? None of that stuff is available. And then this administration extended that concept to apply it to tech founders, crypto founders, and then just generally political opponents. So, yeah, so that's been like super pernicious. And
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, 100%. And this is called, so it was Operation Choke Point 1.0 was 15 years ago against the pot and the guns. Choke point 2.0 is primarily against their political enemies and then to their disfavored tech startups. And it's hit the tech world like we've had like 30 founders debanked in the last 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a big recurring pattern.
30.
This is one of the reasons why we ended up supporting Trump. It's like we can't live in this world. We can't live in a world where somebody starts a company that's a completely legal thing and then they literally get
sanctioned. Well, for prime example, I think Rumble faced those. If you try to start up like a YouTube type, or like a freedom of speech, I guess that's what they're trying to do to Elon too. If you try to start something in that field, you'll just get sanctioned. So that way they make sure that you don't make it past a certain way. What happens to people if there was always this joke, if you find the cure to cancer or if you find the cure to anything, you just disappear. Right? Like, hey guys, I found the cure to the sickness that they say can't be cured. Next thing you know, boop, you're out of here.
Sanctioned, right, and embargoed by the United States government through a completely unaccountable, no due process. None of this is written down. There's no rules. There's no court. There's no decision process. There's no appeal. Who do you appeal to, right? Like, who do you go to get your bank account back, right?
God.
And then there's this, and then there's also the civil asset forfeiture side of it, which is right the other side, and that doesn't happen to us, but that happens to people in a lot of places now who get arrested, and all of a sudden, the state takes their money.
Yes, that happens to people if they get pulled over and they have a large amount of cash in some states.
Yeah, this is like I said, very, very interesting. It's so many parts. Look at Joe Rogan's face. This is what Joe Rogan's face ended up looking like the whole time. He couldn't even believe it. Yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah, but I guess it's just right-wing stuff. This stuff really doesn't exist. Craziest. Another thing that happened earlier today. I do want your guys' honest thoughts on this meeting. This meeting right here. Pretty crazy. Let me know what you think about this.
Even real quick, Politico is reporting that Mark Zuckerberg was at Mar-a-Lago today meeting with President Trump. Can you confirm that?
Yes, that's correct. And Mark Zuckerberg has been very clear about his desire to be a supporter of and a participant in this change that we're seeing all around America, all around the world with this reform movement that Donald Trump is leading. Mark Zuckerberg, like so many business leaders, understand that President Trump is an agent of change, an agent of prosperity.
Right.
And so business leaders, CEOs, everywhere, they
or trying not to be held accountable. I think Trump has built so much leverage now that he's president. He's built a lot of leverage because now people are going to him. I'm not sure, like if Kamala would have won, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg changes his ways and goes over to Trump and says, hey, I like the way you do things. I think we should like exercise free speech on our platforms on Meta. So I don't know. What do you, I don't trust this guy for one bit. Are you crazy? But Trump now has the ball in his court, right? So he's built so much leverage. Now these people are going to him. So I don't blame Donald Trump for taking these meetings whatsoever. I really don't. Because now that the ball is in his court, he has leverage now. And maybe things will change with big tech. Maybe. Now that he's president. So I know a lot of people like, oh, why is Trump he's a snake. He's a bad person. Now, I don't agree with you. What Facebook did, what Twitter did before Elon bought it, what they did, that was crazy. Imagine the Facebook files. Imagine the Facebook files. That will never come out. But that same person is trying to now kiss up to Donald Trump and calling meetings. So I don't know. Somebody said deep state Don. Don't underestimate the power of propaganda. I will never. I literally maybe some of your guys' grandparents do this. I don't want to go after people's grandparents, but I did see, like, you know, when you go to your grandparents' house or other people's grandparents' house, and the first thing that pops up is like The View. CNN, MSNBC, they're still stuck in that realm. They don't know what YouTube is. People in their 70s and 80s, some of you guys who are in your late 60s do, or your late 50s do, or your late 40s do. But there's a lot of people who they're just never going to change. They're just going to, yeah, we're going to get our news from CNN and MSNBC, and they're always going to see stuff like this. So their perception of Elon Musk is going to be one perception that is, oh, he's a bad Russian puppet. Because they're never going to hear anything else other than that. They're not on X. I'm telling you, I've seen, listen, people's parents and grandparents, bro, they are watching. I've seen it. Like, they turn on that TV and the first thing that comes on is CNN. It's The View. I don't know what other shows come on, but it's what other shows did I see this weekend? I don't want to put people out there, but the shows that I saw this weekend was The View. That's why I keep bringing it up. Tamron Hall, yeah, all these shows, the late night shows as well before they go to bed, like this is what they're listening to. They're listening to the mainstream media say all of these things. I believe they're missing out on what's actually going on. They're missing out on the exposure of what the mainstream media is, or what's about to happen with the government efficiency, with DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Hey, that's a huge deal of our lifetimes. I think people are. There's a lot of liberals that love that. They're like, yeah, let's get some, like Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur was talking about, hey, you know what? You know what, man? People are mad at me, but I want to work. I want to work with Elon Musk. I think he posted something about it. So there's people that are in that realm. Let's see if we can find it here.
Today, the Pentagon's in the news because they failed their, their seventh straight audit in a row. It's just totally incapable of passing audits. And if a company fails an audit, that is a massive problem. The Pentagon is much larger than any small business, mid-sized business, or even big businesses. And that's not somebody else's money. That's not shareholders. Oh, well, hey, sad day, they lost money. No, that's our money, American taxpayer money. And their budget is near $900 billion. Oftentimes they say they can't even find 400 billion of it. So that's going to get to what I offered Elon Musk in a second. But I just want to give you just a quick note about how disastrous the Pentagon is overall. In this case, again, they failed to audit, but they hide things from you in terms of how much waste there is. And then I'm going to tell you why there's the waste. But
so this is Cenk Uygur, a liberal, a progressive. There's something that we find in common. We all could agree with what he's saying. If you don't, I don't know what you're saying, but I agree with what he's saying here. And he reached out to Elon Musk and said, hey, this is something that we can work on together. But what's crazy about this is he's not traditional media. He's a progressive, but he's not traditional media. But traditional media finds a huge problem with it. So this is how you know the gap.
Common Dreams pointed out the Pentagon buried a 2015 report identifying 125 billion, not million, 125 billion in administrative waste out of concern that the findings would be used as justification to quote slash the defense budget, as the Washington Post reported at the time. So the point there is, guys, you know, when they talk about fraud, waste, and abuse, you got that to no end at the Pentagon. And that's where you have the most. You know why? Because anytime that anybody says, hey, maybe we should cut the Pentagon, that seems to have tons and hundreds of billions of dollars in waste, and they can't even account for the money. They go, you're endangering national security. You're gonna get everyone killed, right? So that kind of demagoguing happens from the Republicans and the Democrats. So, and you know, you've probably heard some of these stories, and this one came out recently. Like, for example, defense contractors like Boeing, he sold soap dispensers to the Pentagon, to the Air Force in particular, that were marked up by almost 8,000% for soap dispensers, right? Because they figure we can rob anybody we want at the Pentagon, and nobody can say anything about it because
nobody can say anything about it. When you find, and I think that this is where we can all, and I think we should all come together on this. But I don't have faith that we all will, because some people, they don't care. We have a 73-year-old watching here. No, I didn't say all of you. I said there's some of you that are here at 70 years old, 50 years old, 40 years old that are paying attention to this stuff. But most of 70-year-olds, when they turn on that TV, they're not watching all of this stuff. Like they're not really watching this. So if you're a boomer or if you're older and you're watching this and you're watching history unfold in front of your very eyes, shout out to you, because that is one of the most amazing things that we can do is be connected to the boomer generation, baby boomer generation, and say, wow, you guys are really listening to what we got to say. And you're listening to the changes that are actually being made instead of the other side of the boomer generation that they're legitimately not even paying attention to what's really going on. What the government is doing with our tax dollars, with the Pentagon failing audits and all this crazy stuff. So Cenk is making a huge turn because he finds interest in this. This is a populist issue. And he says, you know what? Let's come together. I have things that I want to say. Somebody said they still trust the government. Yeah, they trust everything they say. I think that's one of the craziest things. I really do believe that people who believe everything the government says, that's probably one of the craziest things. Oh, interesting here. Joy Reid. I don't even want to watch this right now. Joy Reid is crazy, but she's telling people, Joy Reid, telling people that they should not have dinner with their MSNBC is actually so unhinged. It's not even funny. She's telling the family members to get away. I remember she made a post that, oh, if you have family members, that they shouldn't, that, you know, you shouldn't be afraid to tell them not to come over or things like that. So unfortunately, that's a huge separation in our country where people literally they're falling apart on what happened and what the election results was. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Joy Reid, Thanksgiving. I think this is, I'll play this last one. If you haven't smashed the like button, please smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Joy Reid, let me make sure I put the right name. Let me see if I can find it, because I think this is it right here. Okay, cool. I'm sorry I got to do this to you guys. I'm really sorry I have to show you guys this video, but it's just an example of what I was talking about. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about this.
People are rightfully alarmed. They have a reason to be alarmed. And if you would vote for that, people may not feel so confident that they're safe with you. This is not crazy. This is legitimate feelings of fear of you and a feeling that you might not be someone they could trust. If this thing goes way south, autocracies go south real fast and things get ugly and people get asked to do things and turn people in and point people out and turn on them. And if you're voting affirmatively, gleefully for this, and people might, I don't know, may not feel so confident in you anymore. That's real, and you kind of have to live with it.
Lord, forgive me for my sins. Forgive us for all our sins. You should not be disowning family members, and you should not be not being cool with people because of who they voted for. I'm sorry, I don't care. But this is what you call doubling down. You would think that in every election there's a lesson to be learned from both sides. Even if you won, there's a lesson to be learned. If you lose, there's a lesson to be learned. I believe there's a lesson to be learned about all of these things. But I think disowning people and trying to be enemies with people or saying that because they voted for that you should be away from them, that they're not good. I think that this is the rhetoric that I don't think Joy Reid would really be saying this if she didn't work for MSNBC. I don't think so. I think that everybody is somebody else behind closed doors on the mainstream media side. I really do. I And the reason why I say that is because of the video that Whoopi Goldberg said. Whoopi Goldberg is now all of a sudden changing her tune, saying, "Oh, let's just see. Let's just see. It's nothing. Let's just see." So this is what you call tripling, doubling down after a loss. Tripling, doubling down. But if you take this route, if you take this one, Cenk Uygur and Atticus period, this is the route I appreciate progressives and liberals taking. This is the route. And I would say that if conservatives would have lost this election, I would have hoped. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll close it out with this, and I'll put a full camera for this because I want people to understand what I'm saying with this. My girl's over there playing Call of Duty, so I want to get it off from the screen. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what she's doing over there. Okay, so I'm gonna be real about this. Trump's cabinet has a gay person. I think it was he's bringing in people from all walks of life. I think he had the doctor that he just put. Anyways, he's reaching out to people. He put Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., ex-Democrats. I don't think that Democrats, if they would have won the election, I don't think they would have been that welcoming to MAGA or conservatives as Donald Trump is welcoming to Democrats. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that if Democrats would have won, I think they would have been pushing more division. Trump winning is actually pushing more unison in the sense of how many people have come over. I don't think that the Democrats would have been welcoming to any MAGA members, but Trump is welcoming people from the other side. And what is the other side? Well, the other side to me is people who used to be Democrats, people who are progressives like Cenk Uygur. I don't think that I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm super off on this, and I'm always down to be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they would have been this down. Like Trump is down to work with everybody. He just made an announcement about the Mexican president, Sheinbaum, working with her now, right? After the tariff situation, right? Which is another topic that I want to talk about because apparently a lot of liberals thought it was an F around and find out moment, right? Because CNN posted that Trump is going to put a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico. CNN posted it, and a bunch of liberals in the comments were like, oh, fuck around and find out. This is what you get for voting for Trump. We're going to have everything's going to be expensive. But after that, you have Canada reaching out to Trump, right? You have Mexico now reaching out to Trump and having conversations because he said that he would impose tariffs on them. But liberals, they're rooting, and this is what I'm afraid about. I'm afraid about this. I'm afraid that liberals throughout this whole after the inauguration, throughout this whole presidential run that Trump is about to have for the next 4 years, I'm afraid that liberals will not appreciate greatness. If great things happen, I don't think they're going to enjoy it because they're always going to try to find the wrong. Oh, but you should have found the good that happened in the last 4 years of Biden. I'm sorry, but that was a very hard thing to do. You guys were scrambling. And what you guys did wrong was that you told people that they're crazy for not believing that the economy was good. So that's why I don't compare both of those things. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So I think that every little thing, like, oh, Trump imposed 25% tariff. Now all the liberals are going to come out and say, well, we told you so. We told you so. But guess what? It's actually working out for America because now Mexico has just literally said that they're going to stop what they were doing this whole time because they're scared of that. We are the United States of America. We have all the leverage. We are the United States of America. We have every leverage. We have all the leverage. That leverage is running out, of course. But I'm afraid that the other side is just going to be in complete denial that we are living in good times, just like they were in complete denial that we were living in bad times. And maybe to some people, I'm cooking a little too much. Because I had Scott. Scott hit me up earlier. I can't find Scott now. I think he blocked me. But Scott is a liberal. He's crazy. He's been on this channel before. He literally woke up today in the morning. He said, "You're a Russian asset." I said, "Bro, you need medication. Like, you might need help. Something's wrong with you if you think me being a Russian asset. That's crazy. That's wild." Like, he literally said, "Yo, bro, you a Russian asset. Like, you crazy. You work for Russia." It's like, bro, what's wrong with you? Me? Me, bro. I think that's crazy. I really do. I never heard anything like that, but I guess that's the. But once again, I knew this was going to happen. I knew liberals will check out for like 2 weeks after Trump is elected, and then they're going to spark up. Trump, bad. Wars are going to end. They're going to still, in their mind, act as wars are still existing. Wars are going to end. Inflation is going to come down. Deals are going to be made. Peace through strength. All these things probably are going to happen. I believe they are. That's why I voted for Trump. But in their mind and in their reality, nothing's going to change. So I think that I'm afraid that we're going to be living in a simulation if we're not already living in one. So appreciate everybody. I hope we had a good talk. I'm probably going to go live later, probably like 9:45 p.m. I got more things I want to talk about. I appreciate everybody coming through today. I think the max that we hit was like 6.5K in attendance. So I appreciate you guys. But we have a lot going on. I think a lot of moves are being made here on Doge as far as what that can be, as far as what's already being exposed. I think that's a great step in the right direction. I think all of us as a country learning about these programs, I think that's the part that I'm most excited about. What are taxpayers actually paying for, and what is the government actually doing with our money? I think a lot of things are about to be exposed, which is why you see so much drama and so much craziness coming out of CNN and MSNBC, because things that are going to come out, just like Mark Anderson was talking about, Elizabeth Warren's bureau department, what they're doing, big money, big tech, big pharma. Like, these are interesting things. These are interesting things that I'm very interested in. All right, guys, make sure to smash the like button, and I'll see you guys in a bit.